All right, hockey. Switching gears from baseball to hockey. Let's go. I'm Josh Ingles. He's Carlo Colaiacovo. Welcome to Covers His Puck Props. Let's go. Sports interaction. That's where these odds are coming from. Game 3 tomorrow. Getting a little early in, getting those early lines. Show me a guy who bets early, and I'll show you a guy who probably might be a higher chance profitable better. How did you see game 2? Edmonton was up 1-0, and then
Well, everything looked like it was going in our favor. We got the Bouchard, phantom assist that didn't record as one in the beginning, but we ended up getting it in the second period, which was nice. And Edmonton, after killing off the 5-minute power play, getting that goal right out of it, thought that was going to be the turning point for them to squeak out a win, and they just fall apart in the third period. And I think the part of the reason for their third period struggle was they're just too fatigued. I mean, they're playing guys way too much in a Stanley Cup final.
Remember we're making fun of Bouchard for 28 minutes? Well, he played 30. Yeah.
30. And big reason for that is because the Darnell Nurse situation, which is so bizarre. I don't know. Like, I looked at the collision and I'm having a hard time figuring out what it is he hurt. And then he sits on the bench all game, and then randomly in the third period, he plays 2 mysterious shifts. And so you look at the mistake that Bouchard made. I think that fatigue had a lot to do with that. The pass that doesn't get out, and instead it goes on Rodriguez's tape and ends up in the back of the net. And then frustration starts to settle in for the Edmonton Oilers. You got Draisaitl, who takes a penalty that wasn't a penalty at first, but when Barkov was laying on the ice, right? The referees got together and decided to call a penalty. So kind of a weird game, but when you look at the game as a whole, it's kind of a disappointing effort by the Oilers, considering I categorize it as a must-win game, and I'm not sure why they didn't either.
All right, travel in, obviously, lots of memes about how far the travel is. You just said that Barkov is practicing today, and Florida is leaving, this afternoon?
Apparently, there was a tweet that just went out saying Barkov is practicing today with the Panthers. Then they fly to Edmonton this afternoon. So
one night there, get in tonight. Sure. I don't know how that works, but I do know that obviously with the long haul, it's got to be a lot easier for Florida being up 2-0 in that series, doing that haul than Edmonton down 0-2. No?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, waking up the next day, you always feel better when you're in a good mood compared to when you're in a sour mood. So everything that might have been bothering some of the Edmonton players probably hurt a little more waking up that morning versus Florida. You're in a better mood. Everything feels a lot better waking up the next morning. You'd have to think the flight would feel the same way.
Third period. What's my number here? I got it. You guys were talking about it. Aaron Korolnik said 28-11. So they're plus 17 goal differential so far in the playoffs. Obviously, winning has a lot to do with that. Maybe some empty net goals in there. But this is a team who's wearing you down. And when you're not rolling 6 defensemen, if you're not rolling 9 guys offensively on the forwards, that's going to wear you down even more. And it's easier to be hurt and winning. It's got to be a lot more difficult to be hurt and losing in this spot for Edmonton. How does Edmonton figure out with such a short bench going late here?
Well, what they have to figure out, and I said this on my show this morning, you have to differentiate between a guy playing hurt and a guy playing injured. If a guy's playing hurt, you can appreciate that, and you give him every opportunity to play through that. If a guy's playing injured and is clearly more of a problem on the ice than he is of a solution, then you have to address it and bring in a guy who's completely healthy, because you can't have guys like Evander Kane. You can't have guys like Darnell Nurse and look, all the respect to them for trying to play through an injury. That's a lot of the reason why people, sort of love hockey players, is because they do breed toughness with some of the stuff you hear they play through. But if it's limiting your ability to play and be effective, wouldn't you rather have a guy who's 100% healthy on the ice bringing the same that you're bringing, but at least he's healthy? Like I said this morning, would you rather not have Corey Perry fully healthy in the lineup than an Evander Kane
Yeah.
who's clearly
Corrado,
can't
he
do
stopped
anything?
Corrado right in his tracks, eh? He's like, yeah, Perry, but yeah,
Right.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it's just, and on defense too, like if Darnell Nurse is going to be a guy that sits on the bench all game, you get the odd shift from them. How is that helping you? It's hurting you more than helping you.
yeah.
Rather have a guy who's fully healthy, maybe not the same player, but at least you're knowing you're getting everything you can out of that player. So
That player being Cody Ceci.
look, Cody Ceci or no Cody Ceci, he's still a guy that's played in the NHL,
100, no,
right? He's still an
100%.
NHL player.
And that's I don't know what percentage Nurse is, but 2 shifts basically at the end of that game, kind of saying that he's not good. So they probably need him to go in. But Evander Kane under 1.5 shots on goal at plus money. You liked it. I showed it to you. You said that's great. And this is the idea. And this is where you're postulating the idea is that, like, if you're hurt or you're injured, there's a difference. If you're injured, get off the ice, let somebody else step in. Kane's kind of muscling through it. This is a guy who so far 10 minutes time on ice last game, 0 shots in the series, 0 shots in his last 3 games, and 5-0 to the under in his last 5 on this spot. And
so what benefit are you getting playing a guy like that?
None. Right? Like he's playing on the third line. They're mixing matching. He's not part of the solution at all. And one of the things you're going to see if it does get chippy and they're out, maybe it's lopsided. Guess who's probably going to the bench and taking a penalty? Yeah, he did it last game. Kane took another 2. It's just rough stuff. So putting him in the bench, can't get shots on goal. I know you like that one. Let's continue to fade, guys. On this short bench approach, let's go Ryan Nugent-Hopkins under 0.5 points at plus 110. We see it late, unless they bring on the extra attacker. If they're trailing, where does Draisaitl go?
Yeah.
Top line, who comes off, Hyman or Nugent-Hopkins?
Yeah.
Sorry, Nuge. You get to go to the second line.
The only thing that concerns me about this play is if the shift in momentum from playing at home will actually get this power play clicking again.
Sure.
If that happens, then yeah, you don't feel confident about this play. But Florida has found a recipe to shut down this Edmonton high-powered offense on the power play. They pressure on every area of the ice on the offensive zone.
Yeah.
So now it's Edmonton that has to make the adjustments. Can you feel confident they'll make those adjustments? Yes, because they have really good players, but Florida's not going to hand it to them, especially with the way Bobrovsky is playing as well, too.
No, so Florida is, I believe, plus 115 on the money line. Lean that way, but I do like this as a pivot to kind of fade Edmonton's offense, who has 0 goals from its forwards. And let's bring up like the absolute embarrassing fact. I didn't even notice until you guys on the show talked about it today. The Edmonton defense are the only people getting shots on net. What did the forward group had? 8 total shots on goal?
3.
No, only 3 guys had shots on goal.
Right. Yeah.
You got only 3 guys in your forward group got shots on goal. That is absolutely pathetic. It's a testament to Florida, but that has to be embarrassing for Edmonton, who paid a first-round price for Adam Henrique, who is 4 line impact. He's right. He has less than an impact. He's probably negative impact so far in the series. But it's kind of priced in. But in this spot, if they keep going, I believe the boys on Overdrive were talking about it, that they're happy letting McDavid skate around with the puck. Right. Go ahead. You go low to high. That's fine. And that's what's happening. So if you want an angle into this game, you're paying a price for it because Bouchard's over 2.5 is pretty juiced. And now Ekholm's over 1.5 is juiced. But maybe putting those 2 together, the 2 and the 3 in this spot, gives you about plus 150-ish. So something like that. If you're looking for an analysis on that point, maybe an edge in there, I wouldn't go shots on goal with the forward group, especially outside of the 3 guys. Look something for that defense. Agree or disagree with that one? It's been pretty sad.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that because when you see the face-off in that takes place in Florida's zone, so it's an offensive zone face-off for Edmonton. Who do you see come on the ice?
Yeah.
It's always McDavid and Hyman, and either with a Draisaitl or a Nugent Hopkins. But the defense is always Bouchard and Ekholm if they can.
And like
right?
30 minutes and 24 minutes. Like those are up big from their averages. It's slightly priced in, but if there's guys getting things on net, it's that way. All the guys are blocking. I don't know how Aaron Ekblad's doing. He's been an absolute machine blocking shots. He's we were talking about that the cup handoff. One of the wordings is first non-captain to hoist the cup. So like if Barkov was out, would they send Tkachuk or Ekblad to go lift the cup first, and that would be the winner? Like it was going to be super interesting.
There's actually a discussion around that.
About what?
What you just mentioned?
Yeah, that's my market. The market for the handoff. Like
right, but what I'm saying is there a discussion around like if Barkov can't get it, who would be the guy to go up and
because it goes to the alternate, it's Tkachuk or Ekblad, right? And you'd be like,
yeah, but
gotta be Ekblad.
If Florida wins, Barkov is suiting up in his gear, getting on the ice, and making sure that he's the guy that
gets
hoists that cup. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Like unless his leg is amputated, he's getting on the ice to make sure he's the guy receiving that cup.
All right, so here's the takes. If Edmonton keeps rolling with that same line, if they keep rolling Evander Kane and Darnell Nurse, guess what? They're gonna get beat up late in that game, or is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, if you're gonna play Darnell Nurse, you got to dress 7 defensemen. You can't go 6 defensemen with him in the lineup.
Especially if you're not playing your bottom 3, right? Yeah. Like it doesn't make any sense. Sure.
And if that's what Evander Kane's giving you in the 10 minutes that he's playing, put it Corey Perry in. At least you got a guy that's not gonna be slowed down by some significant injury that he's dealing with.
Or at least Corey Perry's son, who gets out on the fresh ice like every game. You see those videos?
No.
Oh, his 11-year-old kid just gets out there and gets to skate every game like fresh. Yeah, it's awesome. But then there's that. If Barkov doesn't play, okay, he is practicing. You mentioned if he doesn't play, do we see another situation where teams rally behind losing your best player and all of a sudden play like the best defensive style hockey that they can play?
Probably.
Right? Yeah. Like just say, oh, Barkov. Well,
here's the thing, Josh. Florida doesn't have to go into Edmonton and think, oh, we got to go win this game and we got to be like, they can just settle into their structure, suffocate the hell out of Edmonton and just wait for them to make a mistake.
100%.
That's what I believe the game plan is going to be for Florida. But as we saw in game 3 of both of the semifinal series, you saw game 1 and game 2 be very close, be very defensive, be very low scoring. I think we might see a breakout here.
Oh, stop it. Oh, the Florida 10-goal game was because it was on Sunday afternoon. That's why.
True.
I don't know. That means nothing. But I
don't know. I just have a feeling that like the feeling out process is over in this, and both teams have to.
Yeah.
At least Edmonton has to, play with their life on the line.
100%. So 2 plays for sure that we got. Evander Kane under 1.5 shots on goal plus 105, probably my favorite play there. And then Nugent Hopkins under 0.5 points.
Nugent.
Nugent doesn't even get to play on the top line, and I don't know how many touches he's getting on that power play that, like you said, is getting pressured heavily. So there's a lot of puck movement within that, just trying to get anything. And then if you're looking for an angle, maybe double up on Ekholm and Bouchard shots, because those guys could see combined 55 minutes time on ice tonight or in game 3. So take advantage of that. I don't know if you want to play their points, but they'll certainly be on the ice and they're shooting a ton. Let's leave it at that, Bud. I think we had comments saying Barkov for Conn Smythe. I don't think he's going to win it. The value's there. It's Bob's ball. I didn't win 100-1 last year holding Bob. So obviously he's going to win it. You know how those work in betting, right? Yeah, that's how it always works.
Yeah, that was like me last year. The week before the PGA or the Masters.
Yeah.
I had a Brooks Koepka ticket.
Lovely.
Plus 6,600. He loses on the final day to John Rahm. then I don't hit Kepka in the PGA Championship, and he wins.
No, that's basically betting 101 right there.
Right?
Yeah, when you lose, here's another way to kick you while you're down. So those are the 2 plays in. Stay tuned for NBA prop picks. Game 3 NBA Finals powered by EV Analytics coming up at 10:30 with John and Adam. And then before you bet with Joe, and I believe John will be jumping on there as well at noon. Lots of content coming, but let's get these things in early, especially we need Evander Kane to play, right? Like the guy can play 10 minutes. That's the big one. Love that play. I think that shortens up too. I'm Josh Ingles. He's Carlo Colaiacovo. This is NHL Puck Prop presented by Covers. All odds coming via Sports Interaction. Lead us out, pal.
Enjoy game 3. Go Oilers. Ciao.
Ugh.